Hello, everybody. My name is Equinette Latin, author of Life Through the Eyes of a Woman. I wanted to read to you today one of the stories from the book. Here's the book. It's called Sexy Nicole. And Sexy Nicole is basically about learning to love yourself in your own skin, where you are right now in life. Not saying that you don't have goals and things that you want to work on and improve on as far as your looks are concerned, but to also embrace who you are, the beauty that you already have, and be appreciative uh, for what God has blessed you with because you're not promised tomorrow. I felt it was important to write because I know a lot of women and men struggle with body image issues, including myself. On a good day, I'm a 12. On a bad day, I'm a size 14. So I just wanted to write it to be encouraging, to let people know it's okay to have goals and want to improve your looks, but to also learn to love yourself for who you are right now because you're beautiful still and have a lot to offer the world. So here's Sexy Nicole. I'm going to be looking down a lot because I'm reading directly from the book and I'm not used to doing live readings. I may read a little bit slower at times, trying to avoid making so many mistakes. And I know that I will be making a few mistakes here and there, but I hope that you're still able to follow along and enjoy the story. So here we go, Sexy Nicole. Hello, what's up, ladies? My name is Nicole Richards, but most of the people close to me call me Sexy Nicole. That's right, I'm sexy, and it's not a problem for me to let the whole world know. I'm a big, sexy, light brown eyed, pearly white teeth smiling, beautiful, long haired, brimmy weavable, mocha colored, and irresistibly voluptuous diva. The reason I'm talking to you is because it's time for someone to bury the misconceptions about the full figured woman. In other words, I'm tired of the big bone, fat, large and in charge, or whatever you would like to call us being dissed in society. You see, I'm a big girl. Well, let me correct myself. I'm a big woman because there's nothing immature about me. I love myself just the way I am, and I absolutely cannot stand for other people to point out my weight or try to make me feel guilty for being large. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't always this confident, but one day I took a long look at myself in the mirror, and I came to the conclusion that yes, I'm fat. When I touched down on the scale, it reached 259 pounds. But that's my problem and not anyone else's. My weight used to depress me so much because I got tired of my family members pointing out the fact that I was overweight, as if when I looked in the mirror I saw a Halle Berry standing there or something. In other words, I know I'm a big girl, and when I decide it's time for me to put forth a genuine effort to lose some weight, I will. But in the meantime, I'm not going to walk around being ashamed of my body or who I am as a person. My measurements may not read 36, 24, 36. I think they're more like 54, 46, 54. But if it's all right with me for the time being, then it should be just fine for the rest of the world. My employer doesn't have a problem with me being overweight. My mother and father love me just the way that I am. My best friend, who's there for me through thick and thin, is a size 12, accepts me without a problem. They never close and deadbolt the church doors when I'm about to enter the building. I guess what I'm really trying to say is, if my immediate family, friends, and God loves me for who I am and not for what I weigh, then my 259-pound frame should be good enough for everyone else. It makes me sad when I go to visit my childhood friend Ebony. She's a big girl too. And her man Kenny just runs over her every chance he gets. Ebony has been with Kenny for almost 3 years. And out of those 3 years, he has probably worked a total of 4 months. Ebony pays for everything. The nice apartment they live in, the Honda Accord they drive, the food they eat, the clothes they wear, the electricity they use, and the spending money they both need from day to day. It's all Ebony. And the little money Kenny does come across from mooching off everyone else, that he keeps for himself. I keep asking Ebony why she feels the need to put up with that crap off of Kenny. All Ebony ever says is it's because he accepts her just the way she is. And that may be true until the money runs out. Well, what makes me so angry is Ebony is a beautiful young woman, and any man would be fortunate to have her in his corner. But if she doesn't realize that for herself and feels she deserves better, there's really nothing I can do. There are a lot of big women who allow men to just talk crazy to them, spend all their money, push their wheels, and live in their home for free. I think some plus-size ladies truly believe that if their man leaves, they will not be able to get anyone else. And honestly speaking, I know it may be harder for us overweight women to meet decent men, but I believe there's a good somebody for everybody. It hurts me when Ebony lets Kenny just play her, not to mention on top of everything else, he has the nerve to disrespect her, calling Ebony hippo hips, Miss Piggy, and wide load, when Kenny should be kissing her feet and thanking the good Lord she even gave his broke ass a second look. I also know Kenny's cheating on Ebony. It was my decision not to say anything because she is so weak and blind to the things that Kenny does, and me telling her may only turn her against me instead of him. Plus, deep down, a woman knows her man. Don't get me wrong, I had a couple of bad relationships in which men tried to use me because I was a big woman. After a while, I got tired of being foolish just to say I had someone. At least now, I'm happily single with a nice-sized bank account instead of in a relationship that's hurting my pockets plus causing me stress. I was in love once, but sorry to say the fool didn't appreciate me. My ex-boyfriend name is Zeke. At first, Zeke and I got along great. We spent a great deal of our time together and met one another's families. Things between the two of us became very serious, except for one problem. When it came time for Zeke to kick it with his boys, the plans never included me. Zeke was ashamed to bring me around his friends because all of them had women that looked like carbon copies of each other. Zeke was in a fraternity, and all of his frat brothers had girls who were very petite, light-complected, and had long hair. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not hating on my petite sisters because I truly believe God created women as beautiful bouquets to come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. The whole situation with Zeke just made me so angry. And for a while, I was disappointed with myself. I was so upset with who I was because I couldn't be the woman Zeke wanted, both in public and behind closed doors. It was hard to comprehend that after almost a year of dating me, Zeke was still more concerned about impressing his boys than being glad to have a good woman standing by his side who truly loved him. I got tired of not being good enough to take around his friends, but just right to jump in the sack with behind closed doors. I'm not gonna lie, breaking things off with my ex-boyfriend was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. It was an especially difficult situation because I know Zeke had deep feelings for me, but he was just too concerned about what others thought instead of following his heart. Oh well, at the end of the day, it's Zeke's loss because I'm looking sexier than ever. Not to mention, I just purchased a beautiful 3-bedroom brick home that Zeke could have been living in and helping me pay for, instead of laying his raggedy head in that old run-down garage apartment. God just has a better man and better plan in store for me. Even now, some men like to try to see if they can get over, but it doesn't take them long to find out Miss Nicole Ann Richards is not the one to be played. For example, there was this one guy I met online who thought he was Mr. Slick. There's this website called Big and Sexy, and it's supposed to cater to men and women whose preference is for the larger companion. Well, to make a long story short, I met this man online named Oliver. I guess Oliver thought I was lonely and desperate for a man because I'm full figure, and felt that he would reap the benefits of spending time with fat, pathetic me. But the joke turned out to be on him. Over the phone, Oliver talked a good game, saying he was a lawyer, had a penthouse on the 10th floor downtown at the Corporate Plaza, and drove a custom-made Lexus Sport Coupe. He also claimed to be recently divorced. Oliver told me his former wife was 289 pounds and that he loved every crack and crevice of her. Anyways, on the phone it seemed as if the brother had himself together, so I agreed to meet Oliver at this upscale restaurant called The Exquisite Taste. Oliver told me that his car was in the shop, but that he would be more than happy to pick me up in his rental, which was a 2006 Toyota Corolla. Let's just say that was red flag number one because it's 2017. What rental car company is passing out keys to 2006 Corollas in 2017? I mean, let's be real. I told Oliver not to worry. I would drive my own car and just meet him at the restaurant. We met up about 7 p.m. that night and had a nice dinner, not to mention very pleasant conversation. Before we ordered, Oliver told me to totally indulge myself and to not dare be shy about ordering because money was no object. Oliver wanted me to pick out on the menu whatever my heart desired. Well, being a lover of seafood, I ordered the lobster tail with grilled shrimp, which was $65 a plate. Oliver ordered the steak and lobster at $85 a plate. Now please don't forget Mr. Big Shot also requested an expensive Cabernet, and we both had Sherry's Jubilee for dessert. When the waiter brought the tab, it came to $345, not including gratuity. Now this fool, Mr. Oliver, reaches in his suit pocket to grab his wallet. Oliver puts this puzzled look on his face and starts to pat his chest and pants pockets, saying, "Oh dear, I am so embarrassed. I can't believe I have done something so stupid." He looks at me and says, "I really do apologize, Nicole, but I seem to have left all of my platinum cards at the house." Next, Oliver said, "When I changed from my Gucci to this alligator wallet, I forgot to transfer my cash and credit cards." Oliver leaned over the table a bit and whispered to me, "Nicole, I'm afraid I'm going to need you to pay for our dinner. If you're willing to accompany me on another date, I will be more than happy to reimburse you plus treat for the next meal." Now, are you following me, ladies? This fool said reimburse me if we went on another date, not to please follow him home after we leave the restaurant so he could give me my damn money back. Well, being the woman I am and understanding that I was in a classy place, didn't want to clown and show the entire restaurant how truly ignorant and ghetto I could get. So I just smiled and said, "Okay, no problem, baby. I got you." Next, Oliver's phone rang, and he said, "Please excuse me." Then Oliver cleared his throat and said, "I have to take this because it's regarding a case that I'm working on." I said, "No problem, babe. I'll just run to the ladies' room, powder my nose, and we'll sew up the tab." I quickly picked up my wine glass off the table and took the last 2 remaining sips. Afterward, I grabbed my napkin sitting in my lap and wiped each corner of my mouth, then quickly pushed back my chair in order to get up from the table. Before going to the bathroom, I walked over to my waiter, politely handed him my credit card, and whispered in his ear, "The jerk who brought me here is trying to stiff me for this entire dinner." The waiter slightly cut his eyes over at Oliver with a disgusted look on his face. Then he kindly looked back at me and smiled. Next, I continued to whisper in the waiter's ear, "The only thing I want you to charge on my credit card is the grilled shrimp with lobster and 1 Cherry's Jubilee. Also, add a $30 tip on my bill for yourself, but I need you to move fast. Hold on to my credit card and I'll meet you at the front door in about 5 minutes." The waiter cut his eyes back over at Oliver and mumbled underneath his breath, "What a low-class jerk." The waiter quickly looked down at my credit card, shook his head, took a deep breath, and said, "That's the second time this week he's pulled this on a lady. It would be my pleasure to take care of this for you." I quickly visited the lady's room to powder my nose, then walked my sexy self right over to the front door, picked up my platinum Visa, got in my platinum covered BMW, and politely drove my sexy self right on home. I never heard or received an email from old Moneybags Oliver again. And do you know why? Mr. Oliver realized I was not the one to be tested. He learned the hard way that Miss Nicole's self-esteem was not low. But more importantly, I was not giving up one red cent to any grown, able-bodied man. If anything, before it was all said and done, Oliver would have been taking care of me. Low-rate busters like that are not worth an ounce of my time. I bet old Moneybags Oliver would think twice before he tries to take advantage of the next woman. On a lighter note, I have met a couple of nice men on the Big and Sexy website. One of them I'm currently dating. The gentleman's name is Jonathan, and he's into me for me. Jonathan and I have been dating for about 2 months, and we spend the majority of our time together. Now, my baby Jonathan knows how to treat a lady. When we go out for a night on the town, Jonathan foots the bill, not Nicole. Jonathan is an engineer, so he is not trying to get in my pockets for anything. Jonathan respects and treats me the way a real man should. I may be overweight, but that doesn't mean I should settle for any piece of man when I know without a doubt I'm one of God's greatest creations. I just wish every large woman felt as confident, beautiful, and worthy of the best, because that's exactly what they deserve. If I could speak to all overweight ladies walking on the face of this earth that feels badly about themselves, I would tell them, you may not be promised tomorrow, so why spend today feeling down about the way you look? Looks won't get you into heaven, because trust me, I know a whole lot of beautiful people busting hell wide open every day. God loves you regardless of if you're 125 pounds or 325 pounds. If there is something you don't like about yourself, change it. But remember, change takes time. Every person struggles with something, but ours is overeating, so it's easier to spot. We can't hide our flaw, so ignorant people will prey on that in order to make themselves feel better. Just don't let others get you down. And even if they do for a minute, don't allow them to keep you down. That's what I had to learn. More than anything, love who you are right now exactly as you are, then everything else will fall into place. One thing I am absolutely certain of is people are drawn to the positive. If others know you value who you are exactly the way you are, it will draw good people to you and weed out the bad ones. Well, ladies, it's been real, but it's about time for me to say hasta la vista. I have a date with my man Jonathan tonight at Exquisite Taste. Who knows, maybe I'll see Oliver there with one of his potential victims. Then again, maybe I won't. Security probably took Mr. Oliver to jail for his half of the bill that his broke behind couldn't pay. On the other hand, perhaps the restaurant manager decided to show Oliver a little pity and allowed him to work in the back washing dishes and mopping floors to work off the tab. Poor Moneybags Oliver. I can't believe he tried to play me, but then again, since I'm a big woman, I can. So many have tried, and every last one of them failed. Somebody forgot to inform Mr. Oliver that Sexy Nicole helped to write the playbook on running game. Showing Oliver that firsthand was a hell of a lot more fun than simply telling him. Now, old Moneybag Oliver knows to keep it moving, boo, because Nicole Ann Richards is not the one. Well, thank you very much for listening to Sexy Nicole. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Oh, and you can purchase a copy of my book at DorrancePublishing.com or on AmazonBooks.com, Barnes & Noble. Please support. Thank you. Take care. Be blessed.